Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm your host, and I'm here with our resident expert to unpack something that honestly totally blew my mind today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to get into this one because it's pretty revealing.
It really is. Um, when you go to a magic show, there's this like unspoken agreement happening the exact second you sit down in the theater.
Right, yeah.
Like, you know you're being tricked. The magician pulls a coin from behind your ear, and you smile, or maybe you clap, but entirely because you wanted to be fooled. I mean, it's entertainment.
Exactly. You paid for the illusion.
Yeah.
It's a transparent deception. You are actively opting in. And I think there's a certain psychological comfort in knowing the exact boundaries of the stage. You know where the trick begins and where it ends.
But think about what happens when you pick up your phone and just, start scrolling through your feed.
Totally different scenario.
That unspoken agreement is just completely gone. You're not looking for magic. You haven't bought a ticket to a show. You are literally just existing.
Yeah, waiting for a bus or whatever.
Exactly. Or avoiding a work email. But someone is still pulling coins from behind your ear. Only this time, the coin is your attention. And you usually don't even realize the trick is happening.
It really is the ultimate sleight of hand. I mean, the stage is entirely invisible. And the stakes, frankly, are much higher than a parlor trick.
Because your attention is the currency, right?
Yes, your attention is the foundational currency of the entire digital economy.
So I was looking at this stack of documents today, and, well, the mission of today's deep dive is to basically pull back the curtain on that invisible stage for you, the listener, because on the surface, what we're looking at are 4 pages that function as a literal cheat sheet for digital content creators.
Yeah, they literally look like fill-in-the-blank Mad Libs.
Yes. I'm talking about actual sentences with blank underlines where the creator just inserts their topic. But the deeper I read into this, I realized I wasn't just looking at, content templates. I was looking at a highly sophisticated, almost weaponized blueprint of human psychology.
It's a masterclass in behavioral design, really.
Yeah.
The creators of these platforms and the people who thrive on them, they understand exactly how to bypass our rational brains.
And today we're going to decode the 4 pillars of this specific content strategy. We've got hooks, hacks, how-tos, and storytelling. Because once you see this, I promise you, you cannot unsee it.
Oh, absolutely not.
You're going to understand the precise psychological machinery used to capture your attention, earn your trust, and just keep your thumb scrolling.
And it's an incredibly logical progression to map out, too. Because before a creator can sell you a product or convince you of a political idea or even just, make you laugh, they face one insurmountable, purely physical hurdle.
They have to make your thumb stop moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have to make you stop.
Which takes us straight into the first pillar. We're looking at a document appropriately titled Instant Hooks. And the subtitle here, it does not mince words at all.
No, it doesn't.
It says, use these to capture attention in the first 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Think about how ruthless that is.
It's incredibly fast.
That is the entire window you have to justify your existence on someone's screen before they banish you to the digital abyss.
And, from a neurological standpoint, 2 seconds is barely enough time for your conscious brain to even register what you're looking at.
Wait, really? 2 seconds isn't enough.
No, not for full comprehension.
Okay.
Your prefrontal cortex, the logical reasoning part of your brain, it takes longer than that to fire up and evaluate a situation.
Oh, wow.
Which means these hooks cannot, by definition, appeal to your logic. They are designed to trigger your basal ganglia and your amygdala. They have to appeal to pure instinct.
Well, I can completely see that in the templates they provide. I want to read a few of these out loud. Tell me how these hit you. Okay, quote, I made this mistake for months, don't do the same.
Right.
Or, this is the truth no one tells you about Planck. And my personal favorite, everyone told me this wouldn't work until it did.
It's almost clinical how perfectly those phrases target core human vulnerabilities.
Right.
Let's break down that first one. I made this mistake for months, don't do the same. In behavioral economics, that is known as weaponized loss aversion.
Loss aversion, meaning we hate losing more than we like winning.
Exactly. Evolutionarily speaking, our brains are hardwired to prioritize avoiding danger over acquiring rewards. Like a caveman who misses out on a delicious berry, he survives.
Right.
A caveman who misses the signs of a saber-toothed tiger, he dies.
He's gone.
Right. So by framing a video as a way to avoid a mistake, The creator is triggering an ancient survival mechanism. You feel a sudden urgent anxiety. You need to know what the mistake is just in case you're making it too.
That makes so much sense. It's like walking through a shopping mall. Maybe you're rushing to get to a specific store, and suddenly you get hit by the smell of fresh, warm chocolate chip cookies from the bakery.
Oh, the worst trap.
The absolute worst. But it is not a logical decision to stop walking. You didn't consult your budget or your diet plan. The smell just bypasses your rational brain entirely, hijacks your senses, and forces you to physically hit the brakes. You are compelled to look toward the bakery.
Yeah.
That's what these text hooks are doing to our brains. They create this massive curiosity gap.
That is a brilliant way to look at it. The curiosity gap is literally a cognitive itch. Psychologists actually call it the Zeigarnik effect.
The Zeigarnik effect.
Yeah, the principle that people remember uncompleted or interrupted tasks better than completed ones.
Oh, interesting.
The human brain hates open loops. It craves closure. So when a creator says, "This is the truth no one tells you," they are deliberately withholding the most critical piece of information.
Creating tension.
Exactly, creating tension. So you linger on the post waiting for the resolution. Plus it taps heavily into FOMO, the fear of missing out.
Right, because of the no one tells you part.
Yes. If no one tells you this truth, you're being offered insider access. You feel compelled to stay so you aren't left outside the tribe.
Okay, hold on. Let me play devil's advocate for a second. Because reading through this list, my initial reaction was, aren't these just glorified clickbait?
Oh, I see where you're going.
I mean, we've all been trapped by those terrible articles at the bottom of web pages, right? Like, you won't believe what happens next, or doctors hate him for this one weird trick.
Yeah, classic clickbait.
So how is this blueprint any different from cheap sensationalist clickbait?
It's a really important distinction, actually, and it comes down to the underlying mechanics of the platform's algorithm.
Okay.
Clickbait, fundamentally, is a bait and switch. It's a sensationalized headline making an empty promise. You click, you realize the article is garbage, and you immediately bounce.
You leave the page right away.
Right. And in the old days of the internet, that worked because clicks equaled ad revenue. But modern social algorithms track watch time and retention.
Ah, I see.
So if a creator uses a hook to trap you, but doesn't deliver on the promise, you swipe away in 3 seconds. The algorithm sees that massive drop-off, flags the content as low quality, and literally stops showing it to people.
So they are actually financially incentivized to follow through on the promise.
Precisely. These hooks, when used as intended in this blueprint, anyway, they are designed as the entry point to actual tangible value. The hook creates the tension, yes, but the subsequent content must relieve that tension by providing the answer.
Right, so it's the difference between tricking someone into entering an empty room versus giving them a highly compelling reason to open a door to a room where, a feast is waiting.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've hijacked my lizard brain for 2 seconds, stopped my thumb, and I've opened the door. But curiosity fades fast, right? How does a creator stop me from immediately scrolling away once I realize I've been baited?
Right, they need to keep you there.
I need a reason to stay in the room, and that is exactly where the second pillar of this strategy takes over. The creator has to pivot from getting attention to retaining it. And this second document is titled Tips, Tools, and Hacks.
Notice the subtitle on this page, too. It reveals the true underlying currency of these platforms. It says, practical value that generates saves and shares.
And the Mad Libs phrases in this section are incredibly specific. They are all about hyper-efficiency.
Yes.
We've got the lazy way I organize my blank, but it works. We have how to cut your blank time in half without losing quality. And 5 small habits that improve my blank instantly.
Look at the adjectives they're using there.
Yes.
Lazy, cut time in half, instantly. The promise is maximum output with minimum effort.
When I first read these, it immediately reminded me of playing video games as a kid.
Oh, really? How so?
You'd buy those magazines that had the secret cheat codes printed in the back.
That's right. Yes.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, and suddenly you have infinite lives, or you skip straight to the final boss. These content templates are basically promising video game cheat codes for real life. Because real life is a grind. Doing your taxes, cleaning your house, organizing your inbox, it's a grind. These hooks offer the reward of the final boss without having to play the game.
That is the perfect analogy. We are all looking for the cheat code. But the algorithmic brilliance of this specific strategy lies in the 2 actions it demands from you: saves and shares.
Right, the subtitle mentioned that.
Yeah, because we tend to think of a like as the goal of social media, right?
Yes. Get as many likes as possible.
But a like is just a passive acknowledgement. A save, on the other hand, is an active investment.
Right, because you have to literally tap a little ribbon icon to file it away in a folder on your profile. But why does the algorithm care so much more about a save than a like?
Because a save indicates deep intent. When you save a video titled How to Cut Your Cleaning Time in Half, you aren't just bookmarking a video, you are acting as a digital hoarder of your own potential.
Oh, wow.
Psychologically, saving that post acts as a digital bookmark for your aspirational self.
Wait, my aspirational self. So you're saying when I save a video about, say, meal prepping healthy lunches for the week, I'm doing it not because I'm actually going to spend my Sunday cooking chicken and rice,
Probably not, yeah.
but because the version of me that would do it feels validated.
Exactly. It provides a quick, entirely unearned hit of dopamine.
Ouch. That hurts.
I know, right? But you feel a sense of productivity simply by engaging with the content that promises productivity.
Mhm.
You've basically outsourced the feeling of accomplishment to the save button.
That is wild.
And the platforms know this. They weigh a save massively heavier in their distribution algorithm because it indicates the content is highly resonant with your idealized identity.
That is terrifyingly accurate. I mean, my saved folder is basically a graveyard of the person I wish I was.
We all have one.
Okay, so that explains the saves. What about the shares? I'm guessing sharing a hack is less about the hack itself and more about how I want my friends to perceive me.
Spot on. Sharing is a form of social currency. We are tribal creatures, ultimately. If you lived in a village and you figured out a faster way to start a fire, you wouldn't keep it to yourself.
No, you'd show everyone.
Right. You'd share it to increase your value to the tribe. So when you DM a friend a lazy way hack to organize their inbox, you're providing value to their life, which elevates your status in the relationship.
Interesting.
It's a low-stakes way of saying, I understand your struggles and I found a solution for us. The creator is just leveraging your innate desire to be helpful, to distribute their content for free.
Okay, so let's recap the journey so far. A creator has used an evolutionary hook to stop my scroll. They've given me a cheat code to get a quick dopamine hit, so I save it and share it with my tribe.
Yep, that's a viral post.
But the viral hack doesn't make me remember the creator's name, I just remember the trick.
Exactly.
If you want to build an actual business or a loyal audience, you have to become more than just a dispenser of cheap tricks. You have to become a trusted guide.
Which represents a massive shift in positioning. And that brings us right to the third pillar, the beginners and how-to list.
The formula printed right at the top of this page tells you everything you need to know about the strategy. It literally says teaching plus simplifying equals authority.
It's moving away from the transactional nature of a quick hack and toward a relational dynamic, a teacher-student dynamic.
Let's look at the templates they use to establish this. We have how to start blank without getting overwhelmed, or the beginner's guide I wish I had when I started, and the biggest trap for beginners in blank and how to avoid it. It's a much more nurturing, hand-holding tone compared to those aggressive hooks we saw in step 1.
It is. And the key word in their formula is simplifying.
And this is where I really found myself questioning the whole concept, to be honest. I look at this formula, teaching plus simplifying equals authority, and I have to ask, does it?
What do you mean?
Does using a fill-in-the-blank template to summarize a complex topic actually make someone an authority? Let's say I read a dense textbook on neuroscience and use these templates to summarize it into a 2-minute video. Am I an authority, or am I just a really good parrot translating someone else's expertise?
It's a brilliant question because it gets to the heart of how the internet has fundamentally altered our definition of authority.
Okay.
Historically, authority was rooted in scarcity. The person with the biggest library or the priest with the only copy of the book, they were the expert. Authority meant possessing the deepest, most complex knowledge that others simply couldn't access.
Right. But today, there is absolutely zero scarcity of information. I mean, if you want to learn to code Python or bake sourdough or fix a transmission, there are 10,000 hours of free, incredibly detailed video available right now.
Exactly. The problem isn't a lack of information anymore. It's an overwhelming, paralyzing abundance of it.
Yeah, too much noise.
The cognitive load on the average person is immense. We suffer from the paradox of choice. So, in this modern digital ecosystem, the true marker of authority isn't possessing the most information. It's the ability to expertly filter out the noise. When a creator uses a template like how to start without getting overwhelmed, they're throwing a life raft to someone drowning in a sea of data.
So curation is the new creation.
Yes. They aren't claiming to have invented the mountain. They're claiming the authority of the Sherpa.
Oh, I like that.
They're saying, I know the safest, fastest path through the jungle, and removing that overwhelm for you is a highly valued trust-building service.
That makes a lot of sense. But here is the final trap. Even the best Sherpa in the world can feel a bit robotic if all they do is bark directions and carry your bags, right?
Sure.
If a creator only uses hooks, hacks, and how-tos, they're basically an interactive encyclopedia, and encyclopedias are boring.
Very true.
People connect with people. Which brings us to the final, and I think the most fascinating document in this entire stack.
The storytelling and mindset pillar.
The subtitle here is the Prime Directive. Show your human side. Connect deeper. And the templates they provide to do this are wild to see stripped down to their mechanics. Listen to these.
Go for it.
This failure in blank taught me more than any success. How I manage burnout while doing blank. And the day I almost quit blank but didn't.
Up until this point, through the hacks and the how-tos, the creator has been positioning themselves above you, as the teacher, as the authority figure holding the answers.
Right.
This final pillar is designed to bring them back down to eye level. It's the empathy engine of the whole operation.
I have to call out how incredibly dystopian this looks on paper, though. It's almost an oxymoron.
Yeah.
We're looking at a highly rigid, typed-out, fill-in-the-blank formula for being quote-unquote vulnerable.
It feels very clinical.
It feels like the exact equivalent of opening your calendar and scheduling a spontaneous emotional breakdown for next Tuesday at 4 p.m. to maximize engagement. Like, how can a deep, genuine human connection be forged from a Mad Lib?
You're totally right to point out the paradox. What we are looking at is systematized vulnerability. It's calculated authenticity.
Oh, yeah.
But look closely at how the templates instruct the creator to frame that vulnerability. It's never just random, hopeless sadness. It's the day I almost quit but didn't. How I turned my worst moment into motivation.
Ah, I see. They are always resolving the pain. They are making sure the story has a productive ending.
Yes. They are deliberately framing their failures not as endpoints, but as necessary, relatable stepping stones. The failure is merely a narrative device.
Interesting.
It says to the viewer, I bleed just like you do. I struggled with the exact same self-doubt you have right now. By proving they share your struggles, they imply that you can achieve the mastery they have achieved.
It's engineering relatability to deepen the bond. But how does this actually work in practice? I can understand seeing one video and feeling empathy, but how does this build a lasting relationship?
It's all about pacing, and it taps into the psychology of parasocial relationships.
Parasocial relationships.
Yeah, a parasocial relationship is a one-sided bond, where a viewer feels a deep, intimate sense of friendship with a media figure, while that figure doesn't even know the viewer exists.
Right, like how people feel about celebrities or YouTubers.
Exactly. Think about how you make a real friend. You meet, you exchange small talk, you offer some help or value to each other. Over weeks or months, you slowly reveal your vulnerabilities.
And the algorithm simulates that exact pacing.
Exactly. A sophisticated creator drips this content out over time. They hook you on Monday, they give you a helpful hack on Wednesday that you save, they teach you a complex concept on Friday, so you respect them.
Oh, wow.
And then, 2 weeks later, right as you're starting to trust them as an authority, they drop the vulnerability template. They look directly into the camera and share a secret failure. Biologically, that triggers immense empathy in your brain. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a face on a screen and a face across his coffee table.
It cements loyalty. You no longer just follow them for their tips on organizing your garage. You follow them because you feel fiercely protective of them. You feel like you know them.
It's a completely closed-loop system of psychological engagement, and it works beautifully.
It is brilliant, and honestly, it leaves me looking at my phone in a completely different way, which is why we wanted to unpack this blueprint with you today, because you are the ultimate target of these documents.
Yes, you are.
Every time you open an app, this exact 4-step formula is being run on your brain by thousands of creators simultaneously, all competing for that 2-second window.
It's happening constantly.
But now you have the cheat sheet. You can see the invisible stage. The next time you are scrolling through your feed and you find yourself inexplicably pausing on a video that starts with "the truth no one tells you," or you catch yourself saving a post about a lazy way to manage your inbox.
Or you feel strangely empathetic toward a stranger's well-lit story of almost quitting.
Yes. You will instantly recognize exactly which fill-in-the-blank formula is being deployed on you. You are in the matrix, but now you can see the code.
Knowing the mechanics of the trick definitely changes the way you experience the show. But I think it leaves us with a rather profound paradox to ponder as we close.
What's that?
If the moments of deep human connection and vulnerability we experience online, the very moments that make us feel seen, inspired, and less alone in the world are actually driven by heavily optimized algorithmic templates designed for maximum retention. What does that mean for our ability to recognize genuine human emotion in the digital age?
Wow.
If the magician's trick makes us truly feel something real, does it matter that it was just an illusion?